The candle on the table trembled like it was anxious, its flame bowing and twisting as if it sensed what was coming long before I did. I reached across the table for Emily's hand, brushing my thumb over that familiar soft space between her knuckles, the same way I had every anniversary for 12 years. She didn't pull her hand away, but her fingers were chilled, the kind of cold you get from holding a glass full of ice too long. "Happy anniversary, Em," I murmured as I slid a small velvet box toward her across the crisp white tablecloth. Inside was the necklace I'd been saving for, white gold with a sapphire the same color her eyes turned when she laughed. She opened the box, gave a smile that looked borrowed, like someone trying to remember the mechanics of happiness, and then gently set the necklace down without even lifting it to her neck. "Jake, there's something I have to tell you." My name cracked in her throat, the same way it did years ago when we argued about nonsense like whose turn it was to unload the dishwasher. But this wasn't petty or small. I could see it in the jitter of her knee under the table and in the way she couldn't hold my gaze for more than a heartbeat. I leaned closer. "Whatever it is, we'll get through it. We always do." Her laugh came out watery. "You don't understand. I don't want to fix it. She swallowed so hard I heard it. "I want a night with Derek." The entire restaurant dissolved. The clinking silverware, the couple chatting beside us, the soft jazz drifting from overhead. All of it vanished, leaving only the pounding of my heart and his name, Derek, hanging between us like smoke. Derek, my best friend since I was 14, my best man, the guy who taught our daughter to ride a bike while I was deployed, the friend who came over for game nights when I worked late shifts at the hospital, the one she said was just helping with the baby while you're gone. I stared at her, waiting for the joke that never came. Her eyes filled, but she didn't take any of it back. "Say something," she whispered. I opened my mouth, but there was nothing. I felt like I'd been punched straight through the ribs by someone I trusted. My voice shredded. I thought tonight was supposed to be about us. It is. Too fast, too desperate. It's about being honest. I've carried this for months, Jake, and I hate myself for it. But I need to know what it feels like to choose something for me. Just one night, and then I'll come back and we'll... Stop. It ripped out of me louder than I meant. People looked. I didn't care. "You'll come back?" I said, like returning a library book. Tears streaked down her cheeks, but she let them fall. "I know how awful this sounds. Do you?" I laughed, and it tore through my throat. Because it sounds like my wife is telling me, on our anniversary, that she wants to sleep with my best friend. "And I'm supposed to be fine with it because you'll come back." She reached across the table. I jerked away so sharply the wine glasses rattled. "Jake, please. I love you. This isn't about not loving you. I don't know anymore." After Lily was born, I felt like I vanished. Like I became nothing but mom and wife. One morning I woke up and couldn't remember who I was before all of this. I wanted to scream that I'd disappeared too. That residency had chewed me up. That I'd come home to a baby who barely knew me and a wife who flinched when I touched her because she'd spent all day being climbed on. But the only thing in my mind was the image of Derek's hands on her, Derek's mouth on her, Derek hearing the sounds she once made only for me. "When?" I whispered. She lowered her eyes. 3 months ago. It just happened. And then it happened again. And again. I kept thinking I'd stop. That guilt would stop me. But it didn't. 3 months. 90 days of kissing her goodbye while she tasted like someone else. 90 nights of falling asleep alone while she texted, "Be there in 20 to my best friend." I stood up so fast my chair shrieked against the floor. "Happy anniversary, Emily, Jake." I was already moving past the waiter holding our bill, past the couple who'd been smiling at us minutes ago, like we were some magazine perfect pair. I stepped out into the November air, cold enough to feel like mercy against my burning skin. Her heels clicked behind me. "Wait, please, we need to talk." "Talk?" I spun around. "Now you want to talk? You've been sleeping with my best friend for 3 months, and you waited until our anniversary to ask for permission for one more?" She crumbled. "I didn't want to hurt you. I thought if I was honest, there's no us left to fix." The words tasted like ash, but felt true the moment they left my mouth. "You ended it in that restaurant." With a sapphire necklace, I saved 8 months for sitting there like it meant nothing. She dropped to her knees in the parking lot, gravel biting through her dress. "I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I regret it, all of it. Please don't leave," but the worst part wasn't the betrayal. It was the moment she said it. The flicker in her eyes that told me she meant it. She wanted him. I backed away, got in the car, locked the doors as she ran toward me. She slapped her hands against the window, screaming my name, mascara streaking her face. I stared at her, the woman I'd planned to grow old with, and felt hollow. When I drove off, I saw her collapse in the rearview mirror. The necklace box had fallen from her purse and lay open on the pavement, the sapphire catching the streetlight like a tear that would never dry. I went home to our daughter sleeping with the babysitter, curled around her stuffed giraffe. She asked when Mommy and Daddy would be back. I held her until she drifted off again, her tiny fingers wrapped around mine, and cried into her hair until I was empty. 3 days later, Emily showed up with suitcases she never unpacked. She sobbed. She begged. She promised therapy, church, anything. But every time I looked at her, I saw Derek's hands on her waist. Heard her whisper his name. Remembered the way she said one night like our 12 years could be renewed after a test drive? I filed the papers on what would have been our 13th anniversary. She signed them with hands shaking so badly she could barely hold the pen. The last time I saw her, she whispered, "I destroyed everything for something that wasn't even worth it." I didn't disagree. Some nights my hand still reaches for her side of the bed out of habit. Some mornings I still brew 2 cups of coffee before remembering, but the pain has settled into something heavy and permanent, like a stone in my chest carved with, "Trust is a luxury I can't risk twice." And somewhere across town, Derek drinks alone in the bar he once called our spot. Because I kept the friends, the memories, the life we built. He got one night. I got the rest of my life to remember it. Happy anniversary.